it's a Tata launch, right? So I have to ask you quality questions. How's the quality of the Curvv IC?
Hey man, how was your weekend?
Don't deflect.
No, you already made me look bad.
I'm not making you look bad. I'm completing the picture
Where
of
do
the
you get
story,
that,
right?
where do you get that ring from? Everybody keeps asking that black ring of yours.
Amazon.
Which,
And I wear it on the middle finger for a reason. Can we get back to what we're about here? How was the quality of the Curvv ICE?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it the same as the EV or not at least?
No,
Why? Oh, come on. Is it better?
no.
See, I'm asking the leading questions, hoping to take it to a better place. He keeps saying no. It's not my fault.
I'm answering the questions.
What happened? Why do you perceive it as not as good as the EV? What happened?
So, if there was an improvement, it was that the eyebrow had gone off on the
Again?
EV. It didn't go off on
Oh,
this
it
one.
didn't go off
It
on
didn't
this
go
one.
off. I went and I checked, and I saw every car that drove past me of the ICEs. ICEs sounds wrong. All the other test car, media cars that drove past, none of them had the brow gone. So that was a step in the right direction.
This is a very low bar and it's making you look worse. You should just answer the question.
Okay, I had discoloration on the hood right above the Tata logo. You could see it very clearly. I've got it on a video. The door locks jammed. They stopped working.
Were you in or outside the car?
I was inside and I was trying to open the boot and I just couldn't open the boot. Then I came inside the car. I'm hitting the unlock button and it's just doing tick tick. I thought it should open. It's not opening. Then I realized I'm going to run through this. None of the internal door locks were either opening. So I stepped out again. You'll see that on the video. I'm trying to open the door from the outside. And on this point, I would like to bring up that the new stupid door handles which are becoming a fad, which are stuck in. If you have to have an indicator light to point out where the door handle is, it should be on the section that you want to press into so that that's where you aim for. Instead, that indicator light is on the part that pops out, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So please fix that. So the door locks didn't work. So I had to shut down the car and restart it.
But you could have climbed out through the sunroof, no?
No, I could get out, but none of the other doors or the boot were unlocking. So that's all there on video, and you can see me trying.
So this is the I'm tired of my family mode. It's a setting.
So you lock them in.
You lock them out. And you're like, I can't do anything. It's just not willing to unlock the door or the boot. I can only drive now.
Then there was the ADAS, which wouldn't allow me to turn off lane departure warning and lane keep assist.
It won't let you turn it off at all.
So again, I've got that.
As in like a glitch, or there is no way to turn it off?
So I thought it was a glitch. I thought the software is incomplete.
Oh, okay.
And then I got into the diesel and I was driving the diesel and it didn't allow me to do it at first. In the meantime, I'd called the people at Tata saying that, hey, I want to turn this off. How do I do it? And they were trying to figure it out. In the meantime, I'd swapped cars. I'd gone into the diesel. And I tried it in the diesel. It didn't happen. Then I stopped at some point because it's constantly making notes and taking photos or whatever. So when I got back in, I tried so the other reason why I had to do it every time was every time you switch off the engine and turn it back on, it resets the ADAS setting. So ADAS comes back on instead of remembering what your last setting was.
Yeah, so I know that KTM used to do this when they'd first done the electronics on their bikes. And everybody who rode the KTM said this is the most annoying thing because you take this electronic suite and you set it up the way you like it. And then every time you switch on the bike says, no, I know better, and resets the whole thing. And it was really annoying. And from whatever he's saying, if I buy this car and I set it up a certain way with the ADAS functions, whatever, and it keeps resetting, it is going to be really annoying to live with.
There were some small things like that. So
okay, then what were the big things, Kartik?
So like the touchscreen responsiveness was laggy. It just couldn't make sense of.
Was it the same on the Curvv EV as well, the lagginess?
We mentioned that this screen looks great. And like we were talking about the Alcazar, where the 360-degree cam is not executed all that well. Here it's done really well. But this lagginess is something that we've seen across.
Okay.
But here it felt more pronounced. I don't know why.
Because you're in Goa, bro. Everything in Goa moves a little bit more chill and slower vibes.
Probably.
Yeah.
So that was with the infotainment, which is small stuff, the usual digital instrument cluster stuff where it's hard to read, and that's par for the course. Somebody else, I was just coming back with the car and somebody else came in with a car, and I happened to see that their rearview mirror had fallen off. Yeah.
But you have ADAS, right? You don't need it.
Apparently they said that they had just adjusted it and they were parked on it.
Dude, I don't understand.
Yeah.
We've done a few Tata cars together in the motoring firsts, right? I remember Punch, Punchev, Nexon, Nexon EV, previous Curvv, and Altroz Racer, and they all seem to have these stories.
Yeah.
Is there at least a movement you're seeing towards something that solves these as a bigger picture, some small movement?
No, in fact, I think it's gotten worse.
What?
No, because see, there's a very simple reason for that. Because you remember when the XV500 came out, it was a mess.
Yeah.
Because they added a whole bunch of electronics.
Correct.
And electronics are super hard to do.
Yes.
So the second you add electronics, things get.
Yeah, I think Mercedes-Benz also went through that phase when the E-Class went from being non-electronic to electronic, and immediately there was like a problem with the E-Class, remember?
So like when I used to work at the garage, we were Amjad and I were the two guys. I mean, there were a lot of people working in the garage, but we would work on the motorcycles and like do all the servicing and all of that. But if an electronical problem came up, both of us would just step back because we were not good at it.
Yeah.
We were not good at it. I'm straight up about it. Electricals was always my weak spot.
Correct.
So I would just take a step back, and we had our friend Subodh. We would tell Subodh, please come. You need to take a look at this. He'd come. And he had that mindset for it. He was happy to sit patiently, take
A multimeter and do here and here and here and here and say, I think it's here.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a mindset that's needed for that. It's a mindset that car manufacturers today have to rally themselves around. Because traditionally they've been used to making machines.
Yeah.
But today it's electronics that are more and more central to the machine. So I think fixing these things is more and more difficult.
Yeah, and I don't want to take away from the challenge of it also. Okay, remember a vehicle is out there. It is considered to be made waterproof, which means somebody has to do that work. It's a fairly complicated electronic and electric system that has its own complexity. So to be able to make something that reliably runs glitch-free for a really long amount of time in all sorts of shit conditions outside, it's a really tough job to do. The only thing is, people have done it for 70 years now, reliably. So there's no reason why Tata can't figure it out. It's just that whatever is, there is a gap there, and this gap is not, as far as we can tell, getting filled up fast enough. That's all.
And I'll give you one small example. Like if you look at the Safari and Harrier, which have now been out for almost a year, let's say. And this is the one thing I want you to notice. When you see them at night driving towards you, when you see that connected LED DRL, look at it closely. You don't have to look at it like go close and look at it, but just look at it. The finish of it is incomplete. And I've got clips from this car as well where you can see it up close. So those are the small things that just take away from that premiumness of the experience. And again, like we said last time, if this is okay, if these kind of things you're okay to deal with, we are happy for you to
Fair enough.
Make the decision, take the pick. It's just something that I don't think he would consider as normal or okay.
No, I don't consider it normal at all. I have a very high expectation of quality, and if you can't meet that expectation of quality, I'm sorry, but I can't spend my money on it. I work really hard for my money, and I cannot see why I should spend it on anything less than what I think is at least my minimum. This clip is actually from a much longer video, which is on our main channel, which is called MotorInc. Why don't you visit us there? This idea in more detail over there with my great friend Kartikeya. You like him, right?